Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. I'm so excited. For those of you who don't know, who have read the title of the thumbnail probably already by now, know why am I so excited? The news has leaked. Chanel is releasing 3 limited edition, so they say for now limited edition, les exclusives colognes, which they call les eaux de Chanel or something like that. Colognes or toilette or eau de toilettes? Question mark, big question mark. My sales associate keeps telling me they're eau de colognes. Everybody thinks eau de colognes. Les Eaux de Chanel is reminiscent of eau de colognes. The shape of these new bottles is reminiscent of 40s, 50s Chanel eau de cologne bottles. So I ask myself, why change them to eau de toilettes last minute? Question mark. But let's get into these bottles, or into these fragrances. 3 of them. 3 important cities to Chanel in Chanel's life career in terms of her boutiques, her travels, her getting over lost loves, the death of Boy Capel, for example, in Venice. So it's always a connection similar to the Métier d'Art collection, which they do, which is always like Paris connected to a city. So it's Paris, Shanghai. It's they also did Paris, London. Why would I have blank in my head? Oh my God, I know all of the... They did... I'm missing all the cities. It's just like they're all gone all of a sudden. I know they did the India version, which was... Oh God, and they did Paris, Dubai. Anyway. Totally gone, all out of my head. Also because, you know, it's a bit confusing because it's a cruise collection, but there's 2 per year. So sometimes the cruise collection is also considered a Métier d'Art collection. So for example, the cruise collection Paris-Seoul was a cruise collection, but it's actually also Métier d'Art. Anyway, you catch the gist of the whole situation. So these perfumes are called Paris minus something. So there's Paris Deauville, Paris Biarritz, and Paris Venice or Paris Venice. These are the 3 fragrances. Colognes, listen, if they're eau de toilettes, it's a bit shady because, or sketchy because the ingredients that have leaked are very, very simple. Basically, each and every one of these fragrances has like 2 major accords or 2 major ingredients in them, except for Venice that kind of classifies 3 and it's more of an oriental. But they're very light. They're supposed to be colognes. So I'm thinking, why all of a sudden rename them eau de toilettes unless you want to make them cost more? Chanel, give me another reason why you renamed them eau de toilettes, because otherwise I'm going to think there's greed involved. Sorry. But other than that, let's get into the sizes. Now, an eau de cologne for me is a size or is a type of concentration or formulation that you take with you when you travel. It's something refreshing that you kind of use to touch yourself up or to touch the fragrance up over and over and over again throughout the day or throughout the travel. But if you're flying, you can't take, may I repeat this, you cannot take this bottle on board with you because the size is supposed to be, so I've been told, 125 milliliter. Now we know the limitations for travel, when you're flying at least, to take with you on board, 100 milliliter is the maximum per bottle. So 125 ml already declassifies it. This is a big problem. It's a big problem because a lot of people will not be purchasing them because of the size issue. Just because of those 25 milliliter too much, a lot of people won't be buying these perfumes. On the other hand, I think Chanel added those 25 milliliters to be able to justify a higher cost, because if we look at what they have right now as their entry price level for the 75 milliliter eau de parfum bottles, they're around 175 euro or around $185 per bottle. For eau de parfum, 75 ml. Now, eau de cologne or eau de toilette, 125 ml, would be around $170 or euro too. They're going to tell you, yeah, you get more liquid for it, so it's going to cost around that. But if we go back to the eau de cologne, the Les Exclusives eau de cologne, which, let me repeat this if I haven't said it already, this is the size, this is the shape of the Les Exclusives that we find today. 200 milliliter bottles and 75 milliliter bottles. This happens to be a 200 milliliter bottle. They're rectangular and kind of square cut. The Les Exclusives colognes or eau de toilettes, whatever they're going to be flat in the front and they seem to be rounded on the sides. So anyway, they're going to have a different shape. 100, so this is 200 ml eau de cologne. Back in the day, when the first Les Exclusives, not the original 4, but the bigger range of the Les Exclusives released around the end of the 2000s, around 2007, created by Jacques Polge, when they were released, they were only released as 200 milliliter bottles, and they cost back then €200 or $200. Then the price went up and up and up, and it ended at around 260 to €280 or dollars before the eau de toilettes were discontinued in favor of the eau de parfums. But the eau de cologne, truth be told, in the beginning, on the packaging, it was listed as eau de toilette, even though the name of the fragrance is eau de cologne. Then they took the eau de toilette denomination off of the packaging, and then they brought it back again. And I don't know if right now at the moment the eau de toilette naming underneath the packaging of the eau de cologne is away or if it's still there. I don't know. But what I want to say is the eau de cologne fragrance costs the same as the entire eau de toilette range that was released within the Les Exclusives line back then. So even though an eau de cologne is considered a lower kind of, in terms of essential oils used and yada yada, ratio between perfume and alcohol and water, even though it's considered a lower kind of category than eau de toilette or eau de parfum or the pure parfum, it still costs the same as the eau de toilette. So what does this mean? This means that if we're going to follow that logic of that price, because the eau de cologne, this particular one from the Les Exclusives range, is still available today, it's the only old price range still in production by Chanel. Since this one costs as much as the eau de toilettes used to cost, I'm thinking for 200 ml now we have to pay around €260 or $280, $90. What they're going to do is the 125 milliliter eau de colognes, which are eau de toilettes, or will be eau de toilettes, are going to cost around €200 or $200 for 125 ml. I think they're going to be between 180 and 200. That's going to be their price point, because they want to make them cost similar, very close to the amount we have to pay for the 75 milliliter eau de parfum. I don't think this is a good idea, Chanel, because first of all, people are going to start buying less and less of the 75 mLs because they're so tiny and the price is so high. And at the same time, 125 ml is too big for travel in terms of flight, onboard, carry-on luggage. Isn't that weird? You tell me. You be the judges of that. But actually, you have already been judges of that. If you want to see the shape of the bottles, how they look like, the images that have leaked, go to my Instagram profile to check them out. I posted them a couple of days ago, so you're going to have to scroll down a little bit, but you're going to find the bottles. The first one I posted, the first one you see, it's 3 photos in one post, is Paris, Venice. And a lot of comments were pouring in as I posted the photo. So this is really interesting. And I'm going to read a couple of your comments. So this is going to be the fun part of this video. So Denise C1102, how you doing, Denise, sweetie? Denise writes, yes, I do like the bottle. I'd probably risk taking it on a flight only because I've been through a lot of LAX international baggage checks, although PHL security once threw out my brand new Biolage volumizer and some sunscreen. So yeah, I would never do that. Guys, seriously, like an incredible Chanel fragrance, no matter what Chanel fragrance it is, if I love it and I'm trying to board the plane and they tell me it's either you or the bottle, I'm going to be like, okay, bah, I'm missing the flight. I don't need to fly. Thank you very much. Give me back my bottle. Bah. It's like, are you kidding me? No. Even though I would lose more money missing the flight and having to buy a new ticket, I would still like prefer to keep my Chanel perfect. That's how addicted I am. Emilio, how you doing, sweetie? Emilio says, I read on Fragrantica that they're eau de toilettes, not eau de colognes. And this is where the whole debate and debacle started between what is it actually? Is it going to be eau de toilettes? Is it going to be eau de colognes? There's a little bug flying. Oh, no, you don't. I know who you are. I can't catch it. Anyway, I guess we're going to have to let it live. We love life. So I'm not going to kill the poor bug. Bad for the karma. So, so then I started thinking to myself, but my sales associate always told me that they're eau de colognes. Everybody keeps talking about eau de colognes, eau de colognes, eau de colognes. And all of a sudden, everybody says they're eau de toilettes. Even though they're called Les Eaux de Chanel, which kind of is reminiscent of the of the colognes, and the bottle shape is reminiscent of the colognes from the 40s and 50s by Chanel. So I really don't understand this unless it's not for money gaining purposes to rename them eau de toilettes. And then Emilio continues by saying, lol, girl, bye. An eau de cologne is an eau de cologne. What's the point of calling it eau de cologne if it's an eau de toilette? Eau de cologne, eau de toilette. Lol, it sounds so funny. Yeah. This is an eau de cologne, eau de toilette. CocoCat7216, how you doing, Melly, sweetie? Nice going, Chanel. They are so pretty, though. They kind of remind me of the Dior cologne bottles. Cannot wait for your future review. And trust you me, guys, the review will cometh as soon as I get my hands on those little, I want to say a nasty word, but I'm not gonna. Those little boogers, there I can say that. OC Nick, how you doing, sweetie? Nick says, I'm excited. So am I. Melanesef, how you doing, sweetie? 125 milliliter bottles are way too big. They should release some small bottles that I would actually find useful. The Accords, how you doing, sweetie, writes, but they are so beautiful. Liz in the ATL. I hope I pronounced that correctly. How are you doing, sweetie? I like smaller bottles because I'm a fragrance nut and like to carry some with me, or at least be able to finish the bottle before the fragrance deteriorates. That's also a good point. Forever Fragrant Kid, how you doing, T, sweetie? Oh, I can't wait to try these. I love smaller bottles too because I have a large collection. Now you see, most people... Chanel, are you listening? People want smaller sizes. Melly writes again, hi Melly. You know they do appear flat in the front. I bet they feel good to hold. Maybe if they do well, there will be a smaller size. They definitely seem like summery scents from the descriptions. Yeah, of course. They definitely are very light, very simple summery scents. Chris East Coast writes, the bottle shape, how you doing, Chris? The bottle shape reminds me of the old school number 5 eau de cologne bottles. Yes, it totally does. Daniel Melv, how you doing, Daniel, sweetie, writes, beautiful bottles, I agree. I would hesitate to pack them, so they will be stay-at-home items if I do indulge. When they are released, could you do a review covering the differences between perfume and cologne? I always assumed they were the same. We're going to get to that. I already mentioned it in this video, but this is an interesting point. Maybe I could also briefly say it here. Eau de toilette, eau de cologne, eau de toilette, eau de parfum, parfum. Different concentrations, different quantities of essential oils used. As we go from eau de cologne, least amount, to the pure parfum, the biggest amount of essential oils used. And then the ratio, proportions between alcohol, water, and fragrance. There's more... To simplify, it's not that simple. It's more complicated than this. But just to give you an idea, the cologne is going to have way more water than the pure perfume. There's going to be maybe more alcohol and less fragrance than there will in the cologne than there will be in the pure perfume. And the eau de toilette and the eau de parfum are in between, are the steps in between. But that's not just it. Fragrances also, major fragrance houses like Chanel, for example, they also alter the type of ingredients and the formulation slightly from concentration to concentration. Hence, for example, Chanel No. 5 Eau de Cologne was heavier on the civet. It was a different smell altogether than the pure parfum of Chanel No. 5. They're both very recognizable, very, very much No. 5. You can smell that they're from the same family, but they're very different at the same time. The eau de toilette of Chanel No. 5 is very different from the pure parfum, but we still recognize its DNA. So that's an extra sophistication added. But let's say if we were to take away that sophistication, it's literally about the proportions, the ratio between the water, the alcohol, the fragrance, the essential oil, and so have you. Being the most diluted in eau de cologne and the most concentrated, the pure parfum. Hi and ho, hi, how you doing, sweetie? I think and hope these 3 releases will be splash colognes. The bottles look similar to the hip flask style bottles in the 40s up to 60s. I'm so excited because it's my favorite bottle variations, but looking at the notes and descriptions, I don't know if the juice is anything to write home about, literally, since it's meant for travel. I don't think they're going to be splash bottles after all, because if you really look closely on the photos, again, Super Dacob all spelled together, my Instagram profile, I posted the pictures there. Scroll down a little bit till you find them. If you really look close at the bottles, this is a spray bottle of a Les Exclusives fragrance, Eau de Cologne fragrance. And you take the stopper off, the magnetic stopper, you have this little metallic thing for the spray. And when you close it, it still kind of peeks underneath there, the little kind of silver metal. And that's what I noticed on the pictures of the new 3 to-be-released colognes or toilettes, or the toilettes. So hence that metallic little bit tells me they're going to be spray bottles. If they were splash bottles, we would literally be just screwing onto glass, the stoppers onto the glass bottles. There wouldn't be any metal there. So that's, unless they didn't add a metal ring, Chanel never does that with their splash bottles. So I think they're going to be spray bottles after all. Rod Nareen, how you doing, sweetie? Asks, Dear Dacob, any idea when they are coming up? I'll be at Chanel tomorrow. I bet these will be limited edition. Yes, they will be limited edition. May, June 2018 is the planned launch. CocoCat7216, after all of the shade about the pricing and are they reconcentrating everything just to make it cost more? Why are they upping the size quantity? That's really not friendly for travel, but maybe to make it cost more. She changed the name from Chanel to Shadel. Vanny Spice says, how you doing, Vanny, sweetie? I really appreciate the poetry of the collection. Reminds me a bit of the story of Coco, and I'm wondering if they'll smell maybe a bit like ancillary complementary bits and pieces to it. And I love the bottle silhouette. Personally, I love massive bottles of fragrances with concentrations weaker than eau de parfum, so I can spray liberally. But I definitely see why it's a thorn in your side if you want to travel with them. And I also don't doubt it has to do with corporate greed. I read that they are actually eau de toilettes and not eau de colognes. Do you happen to have confirmation for one or the other? I'm really looking forward to trying these out. I hope Olivier blows me away this time around. I don't think Olivier will blow us away, but I guess with a cologne release, we're not supposed to expect being blown away. We're supposed to expect freshness, sophisticated lightness of heart. I think that's what I expect from these 3. So I'm not expecting perfumes that I've never smelled before, but I am expecting high quality ingredients and high quality, delicate freshness and poetry there. And my sales associate keeps telling me eau de cologne. Go figure. But I don't know at this point. At this point, we're gonna know when we have them in hand and we can read on the bottle what it says, what concentration it is. Rainier Mora, how you doing, sweetie? Says, hi, Dacob. The Chanel website links have been set up, but the pages don't have anything in them as of now. It's called Les Eaux de Chanel, so that confirms that they were really meant to be colognes, but they are indeed eau de toilette, and they are spray. There you have it. Liz Seville says, how you doing, Liz? It is exciting. It has crept in very quietly. Yes, I know. Creepy little boogers, aren't they? I imagine these are intended to be dressing table colognes. If they were really intended to be dressing table colognes, they would have been 400 milliliter bottles or 250 milliliter bottles, but I guess even 125 ml. I mean, honestly, even the 200 milliliter Les Exclusives, like I'm so used to this size, they don't even look like dressing room table bottles anymore. Yes, they're big-ish, but, oh, by the way, big-ish, what do I say? Heavy, thicker glass for the Les Exclusives bottles, but much thinner glass for these 3 limited edition releases. And I love that the glass is thinner. It makes them also more fragile. So even that is not good for traveling. Kiedora says, how you doing, Kiedora? To be absolutely honest, I don't like that circular shape of it as much. To each his own or her own. Let's see. Some questions repeat, so I'm going to scroll through. Spray Sniff Share. How you doing, sweetie? Says, maybe this is their marketing strategy. Make us buy the 125 milliliter first, a la the 200 milliliter Les Exclusives, which were only released as 200 milliliters at the beginning. Then release a smaller size, 75 ml. Which happened with the Les Exclusives, later to make us jet setters buy them again. After that, butcher the formulas, slap on an eau de toilette or eau de parfum label with an inflated price. Call me cynical, but does this sound plausible or familiar? We've heard this story before. It happened to us just over a year ago when they discontinued the eau de toilettes, les exclusives in favor of the eau de parfums. So yes, the shade is there, but it's very plausible. And unfortunately, could really be the case. Gak1992, how you doing, sweetie? Says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Finally something new after Gabrielle. Yes. Well, we did also have COCO Mademoiselle Intense after Gabrielle, but that's not really new. It's just a different formulation or a different concentration and slight different formulation. So those are kind of more or less the comments. And there's a lot of like kind of answering and back and forth. It was really, really fun. And it's still super fun to kind of, you know, enjoy together these new releases. Whether or not we're going to love them or hate them doesn't matter. It's the magic and the sizzle that's in the air whenever Chanel comes up with something new that kind of always gives me hope that something amazing is going to come out. Let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts are, or if some of you that maybe are out there, and I know a lot of you that work for Chanel are watching, because a lot of you write me in secret, who has smelled them already? How do they smell? Do you like them? Do you not like them? Let us know. By the way, also, Bleu de Chanel, the pure perfume, is coming out soon. We're going to have to talk about that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. All the comments in the comment section down below. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hither on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Super Dacob, all spelled together. Thank you guys so much for watching. We never give up on love, Chanel. You hear me, Chanel? We never give up on love, no matter what you throw at us. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye. Mwah.